Bossman Radio. The South's commercial bill flamethrower. Bossman in the BAM.
From Studio C, South Alabama's #1 podcast. It's Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Tuesday morning. Welcome to Drive Time, brought to you by Jim Peach Motors and Peach Chevrolet. Good morning, JP, the coach, in with us. Good morning, Coach. Mando Gwynn, good morning to you. Miss Gail, good morning. Brandy Moore, good morning and happy birthday. O. Clax in, good morning, O. Tracy Steele, Kerry Williamson, Mary Blair, good morning to each of you. Dwayne King, happy birthday! Josh and Aaron Short, good morning. Timmy Wiggins, Lewis Highnote, good morning. Margaret Cotton, good morning to you. Casey O'Neill Elmore in, good morning, Casey. Brandy and Brian Thorman's in, good morning to you. Taylor Boatwright, Ryan Kennedy, Aunt B, good morning, Aunt B. Good morning, Kenwood.
Good morning, DJ. It's not as cold this morning as it was. I think it got colder as the day went on yesterday.
It did. I know it did. At 3 o'clock, it was
rough.
Yeah, it was getting there.
I mean, I want to say that I looked at my thing on the dash and it said 43 degrees, and I don't think it was 43. I think it was warmer than that when we left the house. If it wasn't, it felt like it. It was a damp cold. How about that?
Yes, it was.
That sounds better. PGP, good morning to you. Roger Templeton, good morning. Diane Ward's sister, good morning, Whitney.
Good morning, Whitney.
Jesse James. Abby Roberts, good morning. Barbara Barnes. Hazel. What's the temp out there this morning, Hazel?
Good morning, Heather Godwin.
Yesterday it was -9.
-9. Was it Montana? Was that where he was?
Yeah, big sky. Can you imagine?
-9's, that's glove and jacket
Do
weather.
they make clothes that'll warm you up in that kind of weather?
I don't know. Won't find out. Won't find out.
Wow, man. I'm going to tell you something. Look at that. 11 degree minus
-11.
Golly. I mean, can you just even fathom that? That's tough, isn't it?
Not many Bama fans in Montana. Tank tops ain't going to go well out there. Come on, man.
Oh, man. I tell you, that was good. Yeah, well.
Revenge? What?
I don't know.
It was a picture. It was a good picture.
Yeah.
Portland days.
Good morning, Kathy Tolan. Stephanie Manasco. Katie Fowler, good morning. Good morning, Mando Gwynn. Hal Whitman's in. Cindy Lou. Good morning, Cindy Lou.
Good morning, Colonel Whitman.
Yeah. Look at those cutoffs.
He probably had them on.
As long as they were cut off Wranglers.
That's it.
That's all that matters. Or Carhartts. Got to be with white with red striped tube socks.
How many folks went for a swim on Crab Island and cut off Carhartts this past summer?
I can't say that I would be able to name
and a belt.
Yeah. As Steve Harvey would say, survey says. No, they ain't nobody. Not that I know of, but I can tell you, Crab Island was graced with that presence.
Yes,
Second sandbar.
Second sandbar.
And I'm gonna tell you, how many of y'all knew the second sandbar actually included Carhartt?
Don't leave home without them.
Yeah.
Good morning, Matt Hodge.
Kane Dickey. Good morning, Andrew Robinson. Karen. Good morning, Karen. Kathy Simpson. There he is. Mr. Hodge. Good morning, Matt. Matt Carter's in. Cut off duck heads.
You know, Mr. Hodge's dad had surgery last week. Supposed to get home, I think, yesterday. Certainly hope he did. He was in our thoughts and prayers. We had talked about that and had a little trouble middle of last week. They got him straightened out, and hopefully he's back home resting.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers out with you, Mr. Hodge and his father, and hope everything is better. Good morning from Atmore, Bobby Cox.
How about that?
The
antennas
The other side of the Dirty 30.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Debo. How about that?
Kane Dickey's in. Good morning, Kane.
I'll tell you what, if Casey O'Neill was in, that antenna must be pointed to right. That's out towards Texas.
Yeah,
we getting out there this morning.
We're out there this morning.
Tell you what, adding that extra 100 foot to this tower out back made that difference, didn't it? You got to get out of this bottom, this bowl that we're in down here downtown. Oh, I don't know if we're in Alco. So this isn't downtown.
No.
Should we be telling that even though we're on the World Wide West web?
From Alco, Alabama.
Yeah. Right in the heart of Alco, Alabama. He did, Mr. Hyde said. Great.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Good morning, Tracy Miller. There she is. The biggest smile in the Dirty 30. Back in with us. Christina Book. Good morning, Book.
Good morning, Booker.
There she is, MC. Good morning, MC. Well, that's Mary Chandler. Ginger Hoffer. Good morning, Ginger. So anyway, what did you go home and crank the fire up last night? I mean, it was chilly.
We had basketball practice last night.
Oh, okay.
Had the first night of YMCA
How'd
basketball.
That
go? Interesting.
Okay, let me ask this. Was it practice or games?
It was practice.
How many parents got let out of that place? Any?
Not practice. Everybody behaves themselves pretty good.
The games, everybody show out.
The games is when we'll have
Are we ever going to have a top 5 Tuesday where we give the top 5 most explosive things that's ever happened at the YMCA during a sport? Let's get Dickie down here.
Yeah, we might need to do that.
And I got a special guest I'm going to call when Dickie comes that is going to come in and help talk about the pH of the pool.
I want to tell you something.
Winning.
You want to see a day get it started off with the wrong foot?
Hey,
let that pool temperature be down about 2 degrees.
What would Dickie say if he saw a red Mustang pull in out there?
He'd keep on going. He'd find a conference down the other end of the county, and he'd make a day of it.
We're going to turn that conversation from the temp to the pH.
You know, I got hit at Little League Baseball 3 years ago.
Like physically?
Yeah.
By a loose ball or a loose parent?
Oh, no, by a loose parent. It was a mother and a stepmother.
Wow.
Had gotten into it, and I tried to get between them and took one to the back of the head.
Wow. Well, that's not surprising if I'm going to tell the truth. It's not.
Yeah.
Because I've heard too many stories that come out from down those places.
We're going to do that. We're going to do a top 5 bizarre episodes.
Listen,
of the ballpark.
do we want to change the names and faces to protect?
Yeah, we'll do that.
The innocent?
Yeah, we'll do that. Well, they weren't innocent, but they were just momentarily insane.
Listen, I'm all for it. I think that'd be a fantastic. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun for a lot of people to know just exactly how crazy some people can get over some.
You turn those lights on, put that scoreboard on.
And things change.
And things change drastically.
So people that you thought you knew, you find out you didn't really know. Let me ask you this. That's a good question, Matt Carter, and we got to figure that out. Today just turned into not so good of a planning day just because of some things that got put in on us. So at
the 13th hour.
Right. So but we need to get in touch with him.
We need to get Coach V in here.
Yeah.
Maybe after they name him 3A Coach of the Year, we can get him in here and celebrate that and congratulate him for that.
Did you see where Rob, Clobbering Rob posted about F-Camp last night, but he said that they come in 14th in the state?
Yeah. Power poll ranking they did for all classifications. Yeah. I saw that F-Camp came in at 14.
I'm going to say this, and I may be going out on a limb here when I say this. I would think that with those 3 guys that was on that Flomaton team, amongst the rest of them. Yeah. But certainly Money and, the other 2 guys. Maybe not up in that 6 and 7A, but I'm going to tell you something. Those guys on your team, I feel pretty good about whoever you're playing against.
Oh, yeah. We said it all year. They had enough to cause you a lot of problems, and they certainly did.
They did. No doubt. Called the cops 3 times in one night? You called them?
I did, yeah.
Was because of parents showing out?
Yeah.
Well, we definitely got to do that.
Friday night's always the worst.
Top 5 Tuesday.
It's crazy because Friday night are the most electric nights down there. That's when, it's fun, or it can be fun. It has been fun, but it's also when it's most likely to go south.
Well, listen, we need to turn top 5 Tuesday because, we're going to be out of football top 5s.
Yeah.
So we can just come in with a different top 5 every Tuesday, and
we might have to make a top 10.
So you're saying we'd have to have a part 1 and part 2?
It's
on Wednesday.
There's so many things that we could
top 6 through 10 Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
We could. So
has anybody ever? I want to ask this question: has anybody ever been let out of there in handcuffs?
Yes.
The people have went to jail.
They left the ballpark in handcuffs. I can't guarantee you they were booked, processed, and all that type of stuff.
Might have been turned loose down the road.
Might have got turned loose down the road, maybe trying to set an example for what can happen down here.
Right.
It's not all just cotton candy and nachos.
Jessica says, sound like we need a 30 for 30 for the dirty 30.
Tell you what.
Where would we start? Would we start at the, is it more of this craziness? I mean, in a good way.
Yeah.
Is more of this craziness happening at the Y or at the?
I think it's at ballparks in general, but I can speak to the Y. We certainly have our share of it there,
and that's not just Y League stuff. That could be community rec league, whatever.
Yeah.
Where have you seen the most rabid parents? In the younger kids, the middle, the older? Like, where would you say the most rabid?
Younger.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been once they got a little older.
When you get to Babe Ruth, there's you have very, very few issues in Babe Ruth. Although when we merged Bruton and East Bruton together back around, it was around 2000, 2001 when we made the Babe Ruth League one league. We did have a knife pulled there in that inaugural season.
What you talking about, Willie?
And I want to tell you something, man. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember who the cuttee was supposed to be. I know who was fixing to get cut, and the guy who actually was going to be the cutter has passed away. But what was so bizarre about it was there was a parent whose child was playing in the game who was celebrating a birthday. And over there, right outside the first base dugout, is a big old sheet cake, and a knife fight fixing to go down right beside it. right beside. Let's move the cake. Now y'all go ahead.
I was about to say, I know that cake got saved, did it not?
Oh, the cake got saved.
Yeah.
It was
y'all
from
have
ties.
at it.
It was from ties. There was no way it was going to be saved.
Yeah, y'all have at it.
I said, whoa, we can't do this here. Give me the cake.
Have at it. Oh man, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that might be a whole series in itself. Do you think we should contact the people that we're going to talk about first and say, listen, number one, do we have your permission to do this? And number two, do you want to come down and tell your side of the story? Because we want to at least give everybody a sporting chance to tell their side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
feel like the CSI vibe, like dunk dunk. I keep waiting on the doink doink thing to go off.
I think we could tell it. I think we could without having to mention names, although in some instances, mention the names would make it a little more enjoyable to hear. But that's
we may not have to. But if some of them are so outrageous, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to personally contact whoever it is and say, listen, we want to tell who you are.
Well, the cuttee you have in your phone, and I'll get with you.
Okay.
You send him a text and see if he wants to come participate.
I would love to see.
And the cutter would have done it. I mean, I think he's passed, but I think he has a track record of being a cutter.
Okay, so legally we're in good shape with him since he's not here anymore.
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay.
I think it was sudden, but it was he's gone.
Sure. Well, that PGP said make it a game. Let people guess who it is.
And I'm going to tell you something. And Matt Hodge made a good comment here. Softball. You see the cute little girls come out their ribbons and this, that, and the
Connie
other.
B. Good morning, Connie B.
It can be a battlefield in a softball game.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, tell you something. The umpires get crucified. I mean, crucified.
Do you? When Coach Riggs was doing a minute with Coach Riggs,
yeah,
he wrote the one about when he took up the softball coaching duties at. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And he alluded to the fact that it was 3 of the toughest years. I think he said it was 3 of the toughest years of his life. He thought coaching a bunch of boys was tough, but he said he had no idea.
I tell you something else.
And there's somebody that's coached a lot of kids. I'm saying. Sure, he got into girls softball, and said that was the toughest thing he ever dealt with.
You can get Dickie in here to verify this, and maybe it's a coincidence. You know how I feel about coincidence and what I think about it.
There's not
100% of the times the people who have misbehaved down there, their team lost. 100%.
Well, I could see that.
100%.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, this has gotten to the point where nobody can take a butt whooping and go on.
Yeah. I mean, it's what's amazing to me is we kind of talked about this yesterday some. Is it because of that whole everybody gets a trophy type thing? You think
it probably plays into that a little bit? I think that the Y, though, a lot of times, here when we talk about recreation and Bruton, the Y gets a bad rap on that mentality. You know how many trophies we hand out at the Y?
I mean,
none.
Really?
None. Show me a kid in Bruton's got a trophy from the YMCA.
You just win. Or you lose.
You win or you lose.
Yeah.
Going in, a team is going to finish in first place. A team is going to finish in last place. Let's mix it up and see how it shakes out.
Matt Carter, Coach Riggs at Houston Academy. There you go. Clack got it.
Speaking of Houston Academy, how about Eddie Brundridge being named the Assistant Coach of the Year?
How about that?
T.R. Miller East. That man, I tell you what, man, I saw how many different people shared the post last night. We certainly shared it on our sports page.
Sure.
But when you see the number of people that shared it, the number of people who made comments and likes, that is a man who has made an impact. Eddie Brundridge named Assistant Coach of the Year in 3A. Well deserving. Had been at T.R. Miller for forever, was at Jackson as the head coach, now over at Houston Academy in the Dothan area. But you talk about a man who's made an impact.
I tell you what,
there was people coming out of the woodworks to offer congratulations towards him and for him.
I think Coach A would attest to this. I think Coach Brundage was also a big help with that cross country up there, was he not?
Yes, he was
at Miller. So
yes, sir, David Padgett. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that was one of the great teams of all time.
Orange
down there.
Methodist Church.
Yes, sir. That was a rugged bunch.
Okay, were they anything like Southside Monroe?
No. No.
Will there ever be anything like that ever again?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, was that a racket or was that a racket over there?
That was a racket.
Didn't they shut that down?
Yeah. We got it shut. It was yeah.
That like got bad over there, did it not?
It got bad. It almost got like
real bad.
Newsworthy AP press
3, 5, and 10.
Associated Press type bad. Yeah.
That wow. That's I can only imagine what some of the things that and you being now let me ask you this. Now
look at there.
Oh, good gracious.
Look there. Well, come on in here.
You ain't gonna come in without coming in, are you?
He's been after me for a while to come back.
Good to see you, buddy.
You too, bud.
Go Canes.
Go Canes, baby.
What's up, man? Steve, how you doing, Brand? Good to see you. Yes,
we're going to get you a microphone up here. I'm not sure. Does it matter which one we pull up?
No, just pull. I'll find it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get this where make as much noise as I can possibly make. I mean, you can hear all that. The hell with the heck with. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It don't matter.
Steve Stanton. Fire chief.
Hold on, let me see which mic you on here, Steve. Let's see.
There it is.
That's not it.
Oh.
Well, nope.
Can we get it up?
I think talk into it for me.
Hello?
Yep, that's it. We're good now. So, go ahead, DJ. I mean, you got it. We good now.
What about them Canes?
What about them Canes, baby?
Exciting times in Flomaton, Alabama, Flomaton High School. The boys got it done. And, of course, we talked about it here, in the weeks leading up to it. Just the energy that it sent through the community was pretty neat for all of us to see. Of course, we were supportive and cheering for them as hard as you guys were, but it was nice to see them get it done.
It was. The night that you come to Flomaton when Miller was playing, here we are playing Miller, who would have thought, that we would have beat Miller and went this far. And you told me, you said, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
You told the truth.
It certainly was.
And you being a diehard Miller fan, I'm sure. But you was telling the truth, and you and Ken, y'all know as much about sports in Bruton as anybody. And, here we are.
Hey, I'll tell you this. DJ said from 3 weeks before football season, back during the summer, he said, listen, the game to watch is going to be the Miller and Flomaton games because it's going to probably wind up to where whoever wins that game, make the playoffs or what have you. It ended up a little different than that, but still, I mean, what a great game that was. But then what a great game that state championship game was.
Yes, it was. Me and Chief Davis went to every game with them for the last 4 or 5 years. And when we was at Thomasville, Coach V told them in the middle of the field after the game, he said, we're going to Auburn.
And he told us the same thing. He wasn't being arrogant about it. He just said, this team has that it. I mean, we're going.
And I guess you'd rather went to Auburn than you had anywhere, right?
That's exactly right.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I couldn't be more proud to say that I live in Escambia County because it seems like championships. DJ was talking about yesterday that road kind of runs right through Escambia County, Alabama.
The thing about it, like we was talking about, I mentioned, David had mentioned to me about getting him up here on the show, and I mentioned to him the day before, and he had so much on his mind, I don't think it registered, and then the next day, I said something about the show, and he said, man, I'd love to be on there, and
I'll tell you what, that guy's just presence. With him sitting here and the energy that guy had.
He had me ready to go. When he left here, when he walked in, he had his whistle on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, Coach has got his whistle on at 8. I'm ready to go bang some heads. Let's go.
You know what was awesome was, normally kids go to another football game. Most of the time they want to see them get beat. You have people from Miller, and this is very true. We have people from Miller, Neal, Jay, Northview, Atmore, Canoe. It was wanting Flomaton to win.
Yeah, sure.
I call him Dirty, but Bo Newton.
Oh, yeah, well.
I talked to Bo last night, and he was talking about how awesome it was to see not just Flomaton, but the whole community, it seemed like, kind of rallied around behind Flomaton and got behind them, and we saw that. Did. We saw that on this end. I mean,
they really did. And, everybody knows, I was a diehard Black Cat fan. I grew up as a Black Cat, and when I got converted, I got one girl. She come home about the 7th or 8th grade, and I was still for the Black Cat. She come home even after they closed the school down and shake that green pom-pom in my face. And that's when I had to swap over.
Yeah.
And then,
it was tough on Daddy, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. And now, naturally, I'm 100% green, and Coach Vic and I have got to be very, very close.
Well, let me ask you this, and talk the team a little bit and personnel. You had Daquan Johnson at quarterback, the outstanding quarterback. They call him Money. Would you rather have him or Hammer?
Well, you got to mention the Hammer now because he was a Black Cat. But I just heard. I just heard what y'all said before I come in. No, the Hammer wouldn't appreciate that, would it? A lot of people don't know the Hammer.
I think he would appreciate it.
You mean KJ knows the Hammer?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody?
Man, look here. The Hammer. Man, I'll tell you, y'all have got what y'all got going on here is great, man. You won't believe the people that started listening and watching.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the crazy thing is that when we started this, I don't know, almost a year ago, the crazy thing was like, hey, we want not just we want all our community to get involved and get behind it, that kind of thing. And to come down and, come through with the Dash or Cash, which you participated in and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And then, come on down through the summer and then down, now we got the Canes going and winning the state championship. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, 2018 has been a pretty good year for us.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a reason to be a Cane.
I do. My wife is a full-blooded Cane. Yeah. That's right. No doubt.
Did she ever tell you about going to Arizona with us?
She told me that y'all went out to
Las Vegas,
Showalter, and she said that one of the funny stories she told me was that they told y'all or told them, because she was a big Braves fan, and I think they were playing the Braves.
Right, that's right.
They told them, "Hey, look, y'all can talk to the Diamondbacks, but y'all can't say anything to the.
Oh, yeah.
I think Chipper Jones, some of them were on there at the time. I think that was about to kill them.
Exactly.
Kill her. She told me that story, said that about killed her not being able to say anything to them.
Yeah, and he married the biggest hurricane in the world.
I got a picture of her twirling her baton.
Really?
Yeah. Now, it looks like a softball bat, but it's really a baton.
You know what I like about this show? Y'all act a fool in here, and I mean, y'all have a good time. And I mean, it's, you just let your hair down.
All of it.
What a little bit we got.
I was going to say, listen, man.
You know me, David and I go a long way back when he was the EMA director.
Yep.
And
well, I asked him yesterday, I think it was. I said, was that Steve Stanton Chief on the sidelines that I saw during the game? He said, that was him. That's what I thought it was.
I tell you, I've got real involved in Flomaton, especially in the last 10 years since. And like I say, Coach Vic and I is real good friends, and I do help him a lot. But
now, is he the girl that caught him either at halftime or after the game? Is he from Flomaton? She mentioned that.
He played for Cottrell.
Okay,
Flomaton.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay,
did you
I did not know that.
Whenever y'all started talking about that yesterday, I started to text in, but I didn't know this till a couple of years ago. He actually played for Cottrell a year or two in Flomaton.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I tell you one of the things.
So he's a hometown. He's a hometown Flomaton boy. Okay, I didn't realize that.
One of the things that I loved about all of it, and I think sometimes the bigger classifications from the bigger cities miss out on this part of it. I'm not saying it's not as much fun, but how the community is so involved in. Like, these kids, whether you go to church with them, whether you recreate with them, most of these kids have probably been in school together since K through 12. And the send-off y'all had for them leaving town was awesome. The video that was shared was awesome. And then when they came back, how many people was in the stadium? 1,000? There had to be 1,000 people there.
Let me tell you, when we rounded the curve at the Tom Thumb.
What time was that? That was
about 9 o'clock.
Let's just say, what about 8:30? Yeah.
There was nowhere to park at Tom Thumb and at Roland. And then when we got to the school, as soon as we turned off the highway, they had 2 lines all the way to the field house.
That was awesome.
And they were standing up on top of trucks.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was.
I'll tell you something else I liked, and it was a gamble, a small gamble on his part, and I talked to him about it last night. Joe Thomas pre-printed the newspaper release with the Canes being the state. He printed those.
Yeah.
He kind of took
them out on the field.
And he had his son and his daughter with the game, and with like a minute and a half to go in the game, he gave them the cue, go ahead and start handing them out. So they kind of dispersed them through the crowd, took some down on the sidelines. He said he got chastised for handing them out on the sidelines.
Ken, you said the thing a while ago about small towns. Well, look at the people from Flomaton, Wallace, surrounding areas that buys vehicles.
Oh, that's right.
Absolutely. It ain't just Bruton people.
That's right.
And
and that's the one thing that we said since day one of doing this is that we're not here just about Bruton. You know what I'm saying? We're not here just talk about Escambia County. I mean, listen, we don't care, but our big thing is we ain't gonna get off on politics. We don't get off on bull. You find that stuff.
Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Well, did y'all have the Christmas parade?
We had the parade. We weren't able to participate. Ken got the flu.
Yeah, I was out.
He told me last week you got sick.
I was sick, and we didn't get to do it. But let me ask you this, because I saw this, or somebody said this during all the state championship week. Did Coach Hammond or one of them say that the last Flomaton Century Black Cat game, it was at Century, was it not?
I believe so.
And I want to say that I saw somebody post that said that there was 7,700 or 7,500 people at that game or something.
I don't know that, but I know one thing. The game that we had before the state championship game, y'all, they was parked all in the baseball field. They was parked all down Ringo Street, all on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
It was the elementary school parking lot behind it was full where the buses was. Down by my house, people parking at my house, walking up there. And I mean, I've never seen that big of a crowd. I mean, Central Flomaton had some big crowds.
Yeah.
Well, see, I thought I rode up, couldn't find a place to park. And I told somebody, I said, I've never seen that many people in that stadium ever.
Right.
But everybody was saying that had to be one of the biggest crowds of all time.
No doubt.
Did somebody, I think one of them said that Coach Hammond had said that he thought that the last Century Flomaton game at Century, that there was way more people, but I guess that being the last one of all time, I don't know. Maybe that's
I don't know that, but I know that's the biggest Flomaton crowd I've ever seen.
How deep was it around the fence?
Oh, it was
3 or 4 or 5 people.
Oh, yeah. It was. Matter of fact, we walked the team to the dressing room, And when we come back at halftime, we had to just make people move.
I'll tell you what was equally impressive was how many people was at Jordan-Hare Stadium representing the Canes.
Well, a big crowd.
That was impressive.
I asked Mr. Hammonds Friday, and he said he thought 4,500 people. And that's unreal. And, you know, that's got to be the surround.
Coach Davidson there in baseball back in '88, and he was to see those pictures of him was pretty cool because I can tell you something. He's nothing but Flomaton.
You know,
isn't Bubba Brown back down there?
Yeah,
that's another Mr. Flomaton.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you know something I heard y'all say yesterday was 100% true. Would Coach Davidson, Coach Sawyer would have loved him.
Oh man,
Coach Carpenter, Jerry Carpenter, right there with him too.
Could you imagine those? Like I said, now they'd have griped about going.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But I promise you this: there wouldn't have been two happier people in Jordan-Hare Stadium than those two guys right there.
You know, like I say, Coach Vic told them every game, we're going to Auburn, we're better than they are. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that after the Miller game, I would have ever thought we would have been the champion. And I don't think many people would have said they thought we would have.
You know who did? That guy right there.
And
that guy told
he's
me
pretty good at it.
When he said when they beat Miller that Monday morning, he walked in here. He said, I'm here to tell you. He said they're going all the way to Auburn.
Well, you know, he's a little bit smarter than me and you.
No, I agree with that.
David is good. I will say one thing.
I'm going to tell you something. When you see guys play like that and how they play for each other, and you could they had that it. You know, you hear people talk about the it. I mean, you got to have good players.
Yeah.
You have to have good coaching. The ball, it helps. The ball bounces your way, but it didn't matter who went down. Somebody's going to get to know.
Lisa Finley Hart says she loves seeing that black cat in a hurricane shirt.
Yeah, that's my buddy there. Well, I mean, no joke. He told me.
Good morning, Cameron.
He told me standing at the gate, I gave him a ride on the golf cart there at Flomaton and Miller game. And naturally, he wasn't fixing to say, you know, Flomaton was going to beat Miller or Miller was going to beat Flomaton. He said, let me tell you, this is going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah.
And after the game, you know, well, actually, he and I had talked the next week, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said something about you had talked to name my mind, don't went blank, the coach that used to be at Flomaton.
Cottrell?
Yeah.
Ronnie.
You talked to him and he told you he did not want to play Flomaton again.
He didn't want him again.
Yeah.
He didn't want to face him again.
And you know, we was worried
I don't know that I blame him.
No,
yeah.
I mean, let me tell you something.
They took a big step.
That guy, number 7 is like Cam Newton. I mean, the way Cam Newton was to Auburn.
He is.
You know, I mean, how he just impacted. I'm not saying that there weren't other great guys on that team. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a lot of great guys and great plays made on the Canes team all year long. But that guy was just like we said yesterday, if he's not the 3A back of the year, then
he's something.
There's something wrong.
Yeah.
You know, he is something. Is he committed? I mean,
he's a junior.
I was going to say, right. Yeah. Is he committed anywhere? Or
I think somebody had asked him or talked to him, you know, about after school. You know, I'm not for sure on that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If he wasn't after that game up there the other night, or the other morning, I'm sure he's probably getting some looks now for sure.
Will Auburn take him?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take it
right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Matter of fact, we'd take Coach Vic to come up there and
we'll take him right now.
Help us with the head coaching duties.
And, you got to give it to Coach Vic. Coach Vic works hard. I live right by Coach Vic, and I mean, it don't matter football season's in or football season's out. Well, it was like Friday. I asked him. I said, "Are you fixing to start lifting weights?" He said, "Monday."
Monday.
About yesterday.
Now you got to defend it.
Yeah.
Now you got to defend the title.
Yeah, he said Monday.
What are they building something out there? Or?
Looks like it.
I don't know. Look like they are.
Tell you what, they always doing something out front of this
How long
place.
y'all been doing this?
Not quite a year.
Yeah, we started. When did we start? January
or February. I can't remember if it was after hunting season or if it was. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Are y'all
either.
on the clock?
Well, I mean, that's a loaded question.
We're an ish company, but
Are y'all got more plans, or y'all gonna keep doing it?
We about to. I mean, the Dash for Cash is going to kick off again.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now,
Friday.
Y'all have people running crazy.
Well, that was a big time, and we're going to kick that back off
So
on.
you gonna do it again?
The Friday is the spring break gets out in March.
I'd like to participate again.
Yeah, we're going to do it again, and we're going to, we got a lot of the stuff we're looking at doing and working on. And, our big thing is, and I think that you touched on this a while ago, we just want to make sure that whatever we do, that we can involve as many people as we can. That's why most of the stuff we've done, we try to keep it where it don't cost anybody anything to come participate in.
Well, I tell you right now, it's really ballooned what y'all doing, and I mean, all you got to do is sit there and watch that right there, and people takes time out of their time.
Oh, hey, and we wouldn't be here without that.
I want to say this about my buddy. We've all got friends. We've all got good friends, and there's not a right way or wrong way to do it. My Lord, here comes. We have royalty coming in right now.
Look at here.
We have royalty in the house.
I surely got to get.
I'll tell you what. Another mic.
I surely got to get out now.
Tell Chip we got to go a little later.
Yeah, we'll slide this one down. We'll pull this one up there for you, Steve. Coach, congratulations.
Look at this.
Yes, sir. Let's get you a chair.
I got it.
You didn't know I was here, did you?
Well, I saw that truck. I've been up here. I had to come up to the nursing home to see my daddy for a minute. Had to take care of some paperwork.
Man, this is really turning into something.
Well, I surely.
This is turning into something.
Tell you something, man.
The champ's in the house.
Have you been listening?
I have not. I've been driving.
Well, I ain't got to tell you the things I said about you on here that day.
Bad stuff.
I don't want nobody listening, but I think you would have liked it.
I appreciate that.
I told him, I said, look, and I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to let you talk. I just told them, me and Coach Vic has really got to be good friends lately. And I said, I've helped Coach Vic out in this the other way around. Coach Vic's done a lot for me. And I said, I was just fixing to say, you can go by there where it's football season, baseball season, basketball season, and Coach Vic is at the field house. And I mean, if I had a kid playing football, I would feel real good.
Yeah.
And, like I just told him, Coach, what you told me Friday, I said, well, when you going to start lifting weights? And you looked at me and said, Monday.
Yeah. Several of them had said that. We were walking off the field after the game in Auburn, and one of them said, well, we got squats in the morning, Coach. And I was like, no, I'm going to give you tomorrow off, but we got squats Mondays.
Well, I think you got our 3 votes for Coach of the Year.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Definitely.
I'm blessed by God. I got a great coaching staff. I got some great players, too, which makes my job a lot easier. So,
talk about the clock's winding down. It gets real. When it's getting real, you're going to win the football game.
You good, Coach.
What are some of the emotions going through you? What are you thinking about? What's going on there as it's winding down? It's fixing to happen.
It still hadn't sunk in yet, really. Even at this point, here we are Tuesday, and I'm like, wow, did that really happen? I really, honestly, I told Steve this, that I wanted it more for the boys.
Sure.
I wanted it more for my wife. She had done so much work behind the scenes. Unbelievable. I wanted it for the community, the boys that had played for me for those 13 years, the grown men that were there that had played all those years at Flomaton and had worn those green jerseys. I wanted it for them. It wasn't about me, and that's what's pretty cool about the whole thing. So it was pretty neat. And then when the time was ticking down, I tried to enjoy it. I started looking for my youngest son because I wanted to experience that with him. So I was hollering for him, and I think they actually on TV got a picture of us, or we were sitting there, me and him were hugging, and he broke down, I broke down. So that was a moment that I'll cherish. So
you made a good point there, and I think a lot of times it gets overlooked, certainly not intentionally, but the role that the wives of the coaches play. I mean, the things they have to do at the house when you guys are away. I've said this about the coaches that I was honored to play for. We had them more than their families did. I mean, we had more of their time. They were with us more than they were with them. I mean, they just weren't. They put in the hours like you did, and the things that still have to take place at the house, the things that have to get done. All of you guys and your wives, do that and feel that and are so selfless in letting you give your time because they know how much you enjoy it. I think it's incredibly a great gesture that you mentioned that, because sometimes that does get overlooked.
Yeah, she's done so much behind the scenes. I mean, whether it be, cooking brownies for the players or whatever, and washing clothes. And I've got assistant coaches that take some clothes home, and wash clothes at their own house, and their wives are like, no big deal. Coach Nall, Keith Nall, his wife, Gina Nall, she takes our jerseys when one gets torn up, and she'll sew them up on the weekends. So, that, things that people just have no clue what goes on behind the scenes. Our quarterback club, Chris Spann, the job that, and there's so many, I hate to mention them all in there, but what all they did for us this year is just unbelievable. Anytime we needed something, it was no problem. We need something to eat. We need something that we got to take somewhere, whatever it was. They took care of us.
Talk about it, and we mentioned it just a moment ago. You win the state championship. You have the celebration on the field. I can't imagine how great the bus ride was coming home. But when you pull up to the stadium and there's literally thousands of people there waiting on you to see you and all the guys, how awesome was that?
Oh, man, I tell you, well, first of all, we were coming back through, and we had another former football player say, hey, listen, we're stopping at a steakhouse, and every football player is eating a steak. So
awesome. I didn't hear that part of the story.
We stopped Logan's.
Everybody.
Yeah,
wow.
We stopped at Logan's.
That is awesome.
And each football player, my wife, my kids were with me, coaches, everybody ate a steak. And it was taken care of. I was like, I saw the bill too. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
First class. That's
First
awesome.
class.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed it sitting there for a couple hours, all of us together in the steakhouse in Montgomery. And then we had heard what was taking place in Flomaton. When we got here, that probably was just the cherry on top, because there were so many people when you turned off of 113. We had the fire trucks, and I don't know if there was a fire truck in Escambia County that wasn't in Flomaton, because if there was a fire somewhere, it was just going to burn up. So they were all in Flomaton. But when we turned in, it was just the lights were on at the stadium, and hundreds and hundreds of people lined up. We couldn't even hardly get the charter bus through there because of people just crowding around the bus to get to the back to the field house. And I think I quit shaking hands about 9:30 that night.
You know, the best part about us coming in was, like I say, me and the chief let us in, and all the sirens on everything. The best part of them going down through them people was they had the lights on inside the bus, and the bus driver was blowing off.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and all the players were.
How about Joe Thomas, the Tri-City Ledger, pre-printing the press release? How many of those are going to end up in shadow boxes? I mean, I would love to have one.
Oh, yeah, it was
I think
awesome.
he printed 500, I think is what he told me.
He actually about got his butt in trouble, too, because he was running out on the field, handing them out, and Alabama High School Athletic Association, that's a no-no, because you're...
was it Ron Ingram?
Yeah, I think it was Ron got him, because you can't advertise your newspaper, because it said Tri-City Legend and more Ron. And
he knows all about it.
Hey,
I'll tell you what I checked into yesterday. I checked into one of them planes that write stuff in the sky. So this coming year at Tuscaloosa, Ron might get a little message from us. I also know a fellow's got a helicopter flown in Bryant Denny, so I'm not too worried about being able to get hold of some air travel. Yeah. And I just need that old Wicked Witch smoke coming out the back of that thing when we go up here and write that old letter I need to write to Ron. We talking about that and being funny, and we were yesterday. We was talking about some of the saw posts where people were getting in trouble for streaming the game.
Right.
Well, if you're doing it for personal use per their own website, you're good.
Right.
I don't think they like the fact that Allison Stoffel had about 900 people watching it. Yeah. That's what they got mad about.
Yeah.
But let me say this. If they come over and say anything, Allison, if you're watching, I got a great attorney that would love to help you out. So you just give me a call or text me or message me, and I'm anyway.
But it was pretty funny, because when Joe was passing them out, now you can do it in the bleachers.
Okay.
You just couldn't do it on the field. I was told that. But he was trying to pass them out, and Coach Hammond was passing them out to our principal. And by the time when Ron got them, Coach Hammond was like, put them up. So it was hilarious. He went from one to Friday. He was so excited, and then he was like, put them up. We're supposed to get fined. So anyway, it was
Ron likes to talk.
Yeah, he does a good job, though. He does a good job. I'm
not dogging the guy. I mean, hey, listen, he does his job. I don't mean that. He just likes to talk, and he likes to talk to people like they're not grown men.
Well, obviously there's a problem situation. I'm not going to dive into that. So
There's like that bridge out here, ain't it?
Yeah, not like that bridge out there.
Yeah.
I will say this, and for the city, and look, I'm an Alabama fan, but for the city of Auburn, and Opelika, the mayor, the people that took care of us during that time, it was unbelievable. They just bent over backwards. They had a liaison. A guy's name was Van, and Van took care of us.
You have to understand, it's the best football people those people have seen all year.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that.
For Tennessee games, trust me, that was the best football that had been played in that stadium all year.
They did a good job with the Tiger Walk. When we pulled up, we had a police escort, motorcycles coming into town. That was unbelievable. We pulled up. right when our kids got off to get off the bus to go down Tiger Walk to walk with all our fans, which was another experience. They had guys waiting on us, and they were like, "You don't worry about your equipment." They just started getting our stuff. Like 10 guys got all our equipment, took it to the stadium. It was waiting on us in Auburn's locker room, which was another awesome experience. Yeah. The day before, we practiced on Auburn's indoor, and for about an hour and a half, kids didn't want to leave. I was like, "Guys, we got to go check on the hotel. Can we practice for another 30 minutes?" I was like,
they've never asked that before. Can we practice another 30 minutes?
Practice a little bit longer. So.
I'm gonna go. I gotta go.
I want to say this before we leave, and I wanted to have your blessing on this. We talked about it yesterday. We want to get with Coach Baker or whoever the state person is can get the ball rolling. And the section of 31 from Atmore to Evergreen, we want to call it Champions Highway. Hillcrest's got one. Miller's got a couple. You got one. Escambia Academy's got one. Atmore's got a couple. We want to rename it Champions Highway.
That's pretty cool.
How about that?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Why not?
Why not?
Everybody's got one.
Right. We got something.
I wonder if there's another road in the state of Alabama that can say what you just said.
Well, probably Highway 43.
Highway 43 over there.
That one can.
That
one can. I forgot about that one.
And I'm not sure what the highway is that goes from across from Cortland and Town Creek and Colbert County, Layton.
Yeah.
They've got quite a few up there, but.
Well, one thing I would like to say is we got something going on now. We just wait and let it be a surprise, me and Coach Vic will. But we got something going on in Flomaton that's going to happen, and a Bruton person made it happen.
No doubt. No doubt.
And everybody's going to be real proud of it, and it'll take a couple of weeks. But once it happens, I'd like to come back and we'll talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you, I wanted to ask this, because I asked this yesterday. Have y'all already, do they come to the school anymore and like give the blue, or have y'all already been presented with the blue map and that's it? I mean, back in the day, they used to come to the school and they have a presentation or whatever. I'm assuming they don't do that anymore.
They gave it to us on the field that night.
Okay.
And matter of fact, I walked out of the stadium with it underneath my arm. I gave it to my daughter. There were so many people waiting on our bus. When we went and got on the bus out of the stadium, I told her, she's in the left there. I said, "Avery, take this." I said, "Hide it. Hold it. Guard of your lives. Don't let nobody have it."
So one thing you brought up.
We were hiding that trophy.
Look at there.
Coach is going to have the whistle. Coach is going to have the whistle.
The reason I was asking, Coach, is
it will smear
if y'all have y'all had a celebration at the school, or like y'all got everybody in the gym and loud, because what we talked about doing was bringing drive time to Flomaton.
Okay.
And coming down there and doing the show from Flomaton, if y'all were going to have some sort of celebration like that. And
why don't we see if Mr. Hammond will let us do that, and maybe you can get some of my coaches, some players to get Quan Johnson on there.
We'd love to.
Yeah, have some of those. That would be pretty cool.
I got a place you can do it if you don't have a place.
Hey, we'd love to do that.
That would be awesome. But
there's so many people who want to participate and want to be a part of it who don't live in the area anymore.
Right.
We talked about the games getting streamed unofficially. The semifinal game, I was watching it from a hunting camp when you blocked the kick, and it was 954 people watching it at that point.
Right.
So many people want to be able to celebrate and be a part of it.
Exactly.
This gives us the ability to do it. Yeah. But it was
we have we're sizing for rings today.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we were like. Heck,
that's what I'm talking about.
So Coach Hammond was all fired up about that. So we got that today.
There's a bunch of them in there saying they need a celebration party.
Yeah, we do. But I know that we planning our banquet. Coach Hammond's talking about doing our banquet in our gym, and we're going to eat in there, and then moving it over to the auditorium, which holds a lot of people. And that would be a good time too.
Yeah,
when we do our ring celebration and pass out, end of the year trophies, just recognition of kids, and things like that. So just kind of our football banquet will be pretty nice this year.
How did you go about designing your ring?
We designed it today about lunchtime. So
are the coaches doing it? The players going to have input? How's that going down?
I'm going to, me, Coach Hammond, and then obviously I'll probably get some input from a few of the guys.
Yeah.
So.
DJ, let's do this. Today is Top 5 Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Let's let Coach Vic run down his top 5, starting with number 5 to number 1 from beginning of the season to that last second of that state championship. Give us your top 5. What'd you say? Top 5 minutes or top 5 greatest?
Top 5 greatest moments.
Wow.
If you I know you can't narrow them down to 5.
Yeah. But,
but if you had 5 that just stood out to you, so here's what we got to do, because we just have to do this. Yeah, it's Top 5 Tuesday. So yeah. All right, Coach.
All right.
Number 5. What would be number 5?
Number 5. believe it or not, I'm trying to think of 5 that I can think of. Because I know what number 1 and number 2, number 3.
Tell me this: when you were in here a couple weeks ago and you told us you were going to Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I think I've got them now.
Okay. Hit us.
I'm gonna say probably because I had to think back. I didn't want to leave one out because I'm number 1. Probably number. It'd be a tie for number 5. That would be the win over Northview, and which was the first time in school history. Only played 2 times.
Sure.
The win over Northview at Northview, rainy field. That would be number 5. Tied with. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was your first win ever over Northview?
That was the school's first win ever.
You know, Alabama's never beaten University of Central Florida ever.
Have they ever played?
Once.
Okay. Yeah. That's a whole nother animal there.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say it would be a tie with then the win over Jay 10 years in a row. That's a big rivalry for us too. So those 2, the beginning of the season. Then probably the next one would be the Thomasville win. The Thomasville win would be just the way we did it. It was coming back and forth. We were down by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That would be a monster win.
And didn't you say, like, after that game, you saw a difference in your team? Like, they really thought then at that point, we can do it. Yeah, we can get it done.
Yeah, because I told them after that game, that's when I said we're going to go to Auburn, and they just kind of believed. Yeah. So, I told them before the game that we were going to win the game, and we won the game. It was a heck of a game, awesome game. And any other year, that would be the top game that you know, because of the way it came out. Number 3 would probably be, I would say, probably Atmore. That was a big win for us because Atmore had a really good football team. And we went up there and we pretty much played extremely well. We were very physical that night. We left a few points on the board, but that was a big win for us. Just looking back on that one, it's hard to put them all in order as far as those games go. Number 4 would probably be a tie between, you got to put the state championship up there, but, it's really weird. I wasn't worried about, during the game, I wasn't upset or worried. It just, you just kept coaching, tried to stay calm. I can't explain it. Of course, obviously, Steve Savarese threatened us. He said, you're on the big board, so the Jumbotron, he said, you better keep your cool, you stay calm, and all that stuff. So I was like, yes, sir. And I was thinking, I'm on TV, so I better just watch how I act, because sometimes I get a little fired up,
No.
Yeah, y'all probably know that. I get a little animated, and so everybody asked me, they said, Darren, you were pretty calm in the state championship game. I said, yeah, I was pretty calm.
You got some reasons to be.
Yeah, I was like, yes, sir. I got threatened by the Bossman, so I was like, so it was good, but I would say that the state championship would be a tie, and then obviously the Miller game, just the way we came back and won that game.
Big catch at the end.
Yeah, the big catch at the end. He fumbles the ball, bounces right back up to him, and then throws it. And plus the starting quarterback was out in the second half,
right.
So I thought that was. The way we won that game, and then we needed to win that game to get in the playoffs. So just everything was on the line. And then obviously to me, the Providence Christian game, I think, no offense to all the teams we played this year, we played a lot of good football teams, from Mobile Christian to Bayside to Miller to Thomasville to Atmore. A lot of good football teams we played. Piedmont, but Providence Christian, best football team we played all year.
It's funny you say that. I was talking to Coach Shell last night at the YMCA, and we talked about how oftentimes the team that wins it, that goes on and wins it, the greatest test is in the semifinals. Yeah. Oftentimes. And I thought y'all were a good bit better than Piedmont, to be perfectly honest with you. I know y'all forced some turnovers or whatnot. I think y'all played them 10 times. I think you beat them 10 times. I think if the Odom kid was 100%, it could have been more of a factor on defense, especially.
Right.
I think
he was only about 75%.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could tell that contact was an issue for him defensively. And, of course, I thought it was a heroic effort for him even to be playing. A lesser person wouldn't have. But,
the Providence Christian game, and of course that was your semifinal win, was a classic. I mean, that'll go down as one of the greatest football games
it's gotta
in
be.
high school history.
Physical. Obviously, Odom separates his shoulder, in that game, doesn't even practice the week of the state. So it was just a physical game. Unbelievable. They were very tough. We were very happy to win that football game because we were worried about how we could stop them. They were the best offense we'd played all year, the most physical offense we'd played all year.
What was amazing to me is they had a kicker that could kick a field goal.
Yeah.
And y'all, I mean, when y'all got on that ball there at the, I was amazed.
I told them, when they called timeout, and there was 2 seconds left, and I told our kids, I was like, I don't know. I told several of them to come off the edge. Matter of fact, we jumped off sides. So I was like, oh my God, give it to them 5 yards closer. But I told them up front, I said, just get a push up the middle and try to get up in there and maybe block it up the middle because of where it's at. And they were like, yes, sir.
And then blocked another one in the state championship game.
We sure did. I think that was just confidence because I think the guys just started getting, don't underestimate momentum and don't underestimate confidence in teenage boys. Because if they believe they can, they probably will.
We talked about that the last time you were here.
We did.
If you get a team that has some talent and they believe they can do it, if you're playing them, you've got a problem. Because they're going to be tough to handle, and you guys certainly were. It happens every year. Somebody gets in those playoffs, somebody gets hot, and they just played a different level than everybody else. And Flomaton was that team this year.
I got to ask this question just because I was sitting there thinking the whole time because I knew you had mentioned you like, and I've seen over the years. You like to be a little animated. Did when the turnovers and stuff started, fumbling, what have you? Yeah. What were you over there thinking? I mean, of course, the turnovers worked in your favor. Obviously,
they did. Obviously, I was actually a little disturbed at myself on the call we were down on about the 2-yard line, and we were having trouble running on inside on them because defensively they were pretty good inside. Yeah. They were big, physical. And we were running outside with a lot more success. But once you get out on the goal line, they had 2 really good safeties. And I knew that they would probably run and really could get us. So we didn't really have anywhere to go on the goal line, and especially early in the game. I thought the second half we kind of wore them down a little bit. Yeah. We were able to wear them down as far as our run game. But that call I made, I just drew it up in the dirt where McCall got the speed sweep, and then he was supposed to all of a sudden come up and hit Bass because the Bass came open for just a second, but he held it, and then when he's falling down, he tries to throw it, and the guy intercepts it. Yeah. So I was mad at myself. I was like, oh gosh, I hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the state championship game, a stupid call by me, because every now and then coach is going to call a stupid call, and it just, that bothered me. But the turnovers, I
was on a hunting stand watching that, by the way, and I said a different word.
That's right. Yeah. I was a little upset with that. And then there was a couple other times in the game. I felt like we were a little discombobulated. We had a substitution situation where we had the wrong personnel in the game, and I'll take full responsibility. And then I called timeout. Well, we didn't have any timeouts. I thought we still had a timeout because of the challenges, the new replay. We did replay at Thomasville, and that was the first time I've ever coached in a replay game. But they didn't replay. You only had 2 challenges in the entire game, and they didn't replay score. When you score, they didn't replay that at Thomasville. Well, they told me this a couple of weeks ago that they would replay every scoring. Whatever happened, if it was a touchdown pass or an interception return, whatever. They were going to replay it. I forgot that. And so they called a touchdown, and I challenged it. Well, I realized the guy had walked out on the field with the red cap. I was, oh, gosh, can I get my challenge flag back? He was like, no, you can't get it. So they were already reviewing it without me. So I lost that and lost a timeout.
Oh, wow.
So then a few series later, I burn a timeout, but I don't have a timeout. So I thought, you idiot, you just used a timeout, and I had forgotten that I had.
So what's the infraction for that? What was the infraction for that?
What a 5-yard delay game?
5-yard delay game. Okay. It wasn't that bad, but still, I was sitting there going, I was willing to beat myself up over that one because you're in such a big game. But if you haven't been in replay like that before, you're not used to it. You got to kind of get used to all the little nuances of that.
I mean, and you already got the nerves of being there in that situation,
Right.
you know. And
when the game was over, it was pretty funny. I had the flag right here, right in this little pocket here, and another sweatshirt that I had on, and I mean, I'm not even getting across the field to shake hands, and some guy from the Alabama High School Athletic Association says, "Coach, can I have your flag?" I said, "Sure, man." I was like,
Should have made him eat it. Yeah.
here you go. So I was like,
he didn't want you to throw that thing again.
here, you got that red flag. We're going to use it for the next team. Yes, sir. So I was like, man, we just won this thing. Can I shake hands first?
Oh,
Listen,
wow.
man, we have to get stuff back at Jordan Hare. I mean, things ain't been as good up there as they have been at the Capstone
I
lately,
got you.
okay?
That's a great story. That's a great story.
You don't have enough red flags to go around for each team.
We're
I said,
recycling.
"Sure,
That's a great story.
It was awesome. But
I tell you some other exciting news that's going on behind the scenes. Oftentimes, the following football season, they'll do like a Champions Classic, try to match a couple of teams up. I understand that Central Phoenix City and Flomaton are possibly going to get together next year.
Yeah. Well, one good thing is they had 18 D1 prospects that night. And so those 18 are gone. So yeah.
Hey,
you don't have to worry about Flomaton.
You know, one of my favorite things of that state championship game was after Flomaton won, they was kind of throwing the camera around, and they're saying somebody from, I guess from Flomaton, pulling for the Canes, no doubt. Well, the sign said, "We won't bounce."
We won't bounce.
It was. I saw that.
That was great.
That's awesome.
That was great.
Had not heard that. That's awesome.
That signs,
That's
we won't
awesome.
Bama.
Some of our fans get a little carried away there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You know, I'll tell our kids too. Hey, we're going to be realistic. We're not going to have anything to do with Central Phoenix City. Well, I don't know if you got to see that game.
I did.
Oh,
A little different animal. That 7A is a little different animal.
That's a whole other animal. I know a few years back, I went over, I'd watched the first half of a 3A playoff game. I think it was Pike County and Bayside at Bayside. And then I rode over and watched Daphne and Opelika. It was about the maybe third round.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, Opelika was the real deal.
Yeah.
And Daphne had some good looking kids too. So that just, when you get 6, 7A, it's another animal.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
well, Coach, you may have said it. What was your number one? What was the number one thing you took away from this?
That would be the
season?
blocked extra point. You know, as far as that game, not extra point, the blocked field goal against Providence Christian.
That's
that
it.
was the
The
biggest
Dullard
one.
kid got it. Did he not?
No, it was actually Micah Boyette.
Okay.
Yeah,
Micah
okay.
Boyette got
Okay.
it. It looked like we couldn't tell, you know, on some of the pictures, but I know Boyette came and said he blocked, and several other kids said
Sure.
that he had actually got his hand
Good for
on it.
him.
But there were 4 or 5 hands up like that, you know, trying to get it. So, man, what a ride, and it you know, it's really brought the community of Flomaton together. I really see a lot of people that are just so excited, and it's good for the town. You know, they need something to say, hey, we're proud of this, you know, we're
Listen,
proud of this boy.
I didn't realize. I told DJ, I told Steve this. I didn't realize until the lady at the end of the game was interviewing you that you were a Flomaton, hometown Flomaton guy.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And DJ said he didn't know that. So
Yeah.
how, that's got to feel even that much better, does it not?
Yeah.
Come and winning the state championship at Flomaton.
I went there in the 9th and 10th grade. I didn't finish up there, but I actually played for Coach Cottrell there in the 9th and 10th, and I didn't play much. I wasn't that good, but I played with Coach Hammond and Cedric Odom. We were all in the same class together. So it's I guess it's kind of weird. My sons are playing there, and Flomaton is just a great place, man. It's just kind of like a Mayberry. A lot of good people there, you know. The school's great. Coach Hammond, academically, we've got it going on there. I mean, he does an awesome job. The teachers there are awesome. My coaching staff, the support, the quarterback club. I mean, it's a lot of awesome stuff there, you know.
Well, listen, let us know if y'all you work anything out or whatever, and you know, give us a couple week headway where we can kind of work scheduling out. But we'd love to come down and be part of that. I mean, that'd be something that I think a lot of people out here would like to see.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Maybe.
And listen, if we can't, Allison Stoffel is available somewhere. Okay, and let me tell you something. She gets more people to watch her videos than anybody I've ever seen.
Just don't tell Ron Ingram.
Yeah. Hey, listen, nobody call Ron and tell Ron anything about it. Okay.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Ron, if you watching, we just playing, man.
We're just
playing.
joking. Yeah,
We're joking.
Don't find me,
Yeah.
Ron.
Coach Vickery had nothing to do with the fact that you got a big. Never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone. Anyway,
Well, I appreciate you guys, and You're welcome
anytime you want to come by.
I was up here. I had to go by the nursing home for just a second. I know they're looking for me. I had a couple of phone calls. They're probably wondering where I'm at. But
hey, listen, seriously, anytime you up this way, you want to drop by here, come by. Stop by and see us.
I appreciate y'all, and we'll maybe set that up and get you guys to come to Flomaton and do this at Flomaton. That would be.
We'd love it.
I'm married to a hurricane.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Thank
Coach,
you, guys.
Good to see you.
I appreciate
Congratulations again, man. Big win.
State champs up there on the board.
Yeah.
Be careful going down Champions Highway.
Yeah.
I got you.
Put that state champs up
as
there.
big as you want it, Coach.
Yes, sir. You make it as big as you can make it. State champs. 2018. There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Coach V.
Guys, I appreciate you
Getting it done. Thank you, Coach. Have a good one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Have a good one.
How about that for a surprise?
Man, people going to think we had that set up. And we didn't at all. I mean, did you have that set up?
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Had no idea.
I didn't know that was going to happen either.
They are sizing and designing the rings today. That's exciting. Rings.
Look at what Cameron just said.
Yes, sir.
Well, Cameron, you know what?
Our guy Cam.
We can rock it. We can rock it like a hurricane, and that's what we'll leave this one with rocking it like a hurricane, man, because why not?
I want to leave this blood drive today on the campus at T.R. Miller High School on the Huddle House side, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you go up and give a pint of blood, a $10 donation we made in your name. All the money collected is going to a middle school down in Panama City that was affected during Hurricane Michael. So if you're out and about and can spare a pint of blood, it's all going to good cause.
And if we miss anybody's birthdays the last couple of days, trust me, we'll get you tomorrow. It's a fluid situation around here.
Baby,
I mean, we never know what's going to happen. We never know where we're going to be. We never know if we're going to have to go to Pensacola to a meeting at the last 30 seconds that you don't know anything about, but that's fine too. Go Canes. Canes getting it done. A couple of big hurricanes in here with us this morning, and the two biggest, I would say. All right, DJ, you got it.
Been a great time in here this morning. Appreciate all of you being with us. If you have some time to waste tomorrow, get back in here. We're going to do it all over again. Thank you to Jim Peach Motors and Peach Chevrolet for making it possible.
Peach Chevrolet. Somebody
for making it all possible. Without that support and their blessings, we wouldn't be here. So y'all have a great day. Love y'all.
It's our turn count. Desire's coming. It breaks out loud. Lost is in cages. It's on recluse.
Been listening to Drive Time with DJ and KJ. Brought to you by Bossman Productions. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and WBOSS, The Boss.